anything, feel free to call me. I'm retired. I got lots of time. And one of my other thoughts is, I've been here about 20 years, and the communicator, when I first came here, had, the full minutes of the meetings and things in it. We don't need that. We just need a summary of the advisory board meetings. Something to let the people know what we're doing, not just what everybody else is doing, but the topics that we're talking about, and invite stuff. But there was also a board out by the entrance by 41 that had the list of the clubs and when the advisory board meeting was, and there were things posted on it. That's not there. I don't see things. And so, I'm out doing something, I come back in on a Saturday morning, and I don't see a sign for the event that's going on. Or maybe I see a little bitty sign. But we need to do a better job of getting the word out there, and I don't see that that's imposing. I think that's the right of the residents here, because they move in. I stopped at one house, and he said he'd been here for a year, and not a single person out here had spoken to him. Now, I fixed that because I sicked my brother on him. He has a dog, I have a dog, he's not that far away. My brother loves to talk, and they had things in common. But they don't know people, they don't know anything. And I just feel as though it's our job to invite people in and let them know. They think they have to pay for trash pickup. Some of them have no idea that there's a recycle center around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And that doesn't cost anything extra than our normal taxes. Anyway, that's my say.
Thank you. All right, I have two options here. I can schedule this for another discussion, or if, because I can kind of see the way this board is going, does somebody want to make a motion and second, and I'll call for a vote for this, if that's what you all want to do.
I would like to make a motion that a communicator be devised that can be sent in an efficient fashion at minimal cost to every resident of Rainbow Lakes Estates.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by George, seconded by Gary, and I am going to ask Tiffany to poll the board on this vote. You ask them individually what their vote is.
You got me on guard there. Dan?
For it.
Ms. Pollock?
I think if it's one sheet, I would agree with that. But if it's 12 pages.
A minimum of 4.
Okay, we're going with the vote, the discussion's over.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes or no?
I'll say yes.
Rico Spacuzza? No.
I say yes.
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 And I will volunteer.
So what's the tally?
I didn't get George's.
Yes.
Yes.
And Ms. Kathy?
I need it.
Yes. 5 yeses, 1 no.
Okay. Motion, we have 5 votes in favor of, what's this? Should be 6 and 1.
Dan is yes. Paul is yes. Rico's no. Levitt is yes. McKay is yes. Kathy is yes.
And I'm yes.
So 6.
That's
So
done.
7.
Okay.
All right, we have 6 in favor, 1 against, motion carries.
We got something done.
That was just a...
Okay, thank you. Chad, did you have something to say?
I actually do have something to say. What was that? Okay. On the mailing of the communicator, from what I understand is that it is both mailed and it is emailed and it is posted on Facebook. So for myself, if I received anything in the mail that's not a bill, it goes straight into the trash. If I want to receive something via email, then I sign up for an email and I can either read it at the house or I can read it at my cell phone when I have service. The options are provided that if the residents do want to receive the communicator via mail, they can contact the office and be added to the mailing list to receive a paper copy of that newsletter. I am not sure if I'm in favor of, because we presented to the Board of County Commissioners in a workshop last year that we were going to make it a hybrid where we're doing it both paper and we're doing it both digital to save money. I understand that the board took a vote, but the board is also an advisory board that I also need to be able to do the research and see if it's cost effective to mail out to every resident. You're asking us to mail out something which is costing employee time, it's costing resources, paper, stamp, ink, all of that for, I'm not sure if the community's even reading it or if they're throwing it away. Yes, ma'am.
How do the new people know anything about it?
Well, and that's what I addressed with the board during the budget workshop. I totally understand that, and we're gonna do some research to see what the best way for us to contact new residents that are moving into the area so we can let them know that there is a communicator, that there are events happening, that there is a community center that's available to them. What that looks like right now, I'm not sure, because I was just presented with that last week during the budget workshop, and so I need to do some research on that.
I for one can go visit them.
Huh?
I said, I for one can go visit them.
Absolutely, word of mouth is the best way for the community to get out there, but there's some things that we can do at the district office level also to help let some of the new community members know that there are all of these wonderful benefits that are available to them.
I'm a little surprised that you say that this went before the county commissioners last year, because I believe it was 4 years ago when the board voted to do away with mailing out the communicator, and it was shortly after that it could be requested. So I'm surprised that this was brought up last year, because it wasn't. It was not in last year's meeting. It
was brought up at a workshop. It was when they presented the restructure of this RLE office, and it was stated in the workshop by, I believe it was Matt at the time, that it's moved to digital, but we are offering mail outs to those who request it.
Oh, okay, because that was done prior to last year. So
Okay.
that's-
Yeah, but the
I see what
offer's,
you're saying.
the offer's made digitally,
No, if you call the office and say you want a paper,
but they don't know about it.
I am aware of that, yes, sir. That's right, and that's what I'm saying, we're gonna do some research to find out how we could get that information out to the new citizens or citizens that have recently moved in.
How about we send a mailing to every mailing address in Rainbow Lakes Estates? Would that be acceptable?
I
Sense.
am going to say this. When we did the mailings to the fire department, it was $7,000 per mailing. So it cost us $14,000 to let them, for that. So I don't know.
Yeah, Katie actually is telling me it was 11,000.
What's that?
This past year was $11,000 for that.
11,000. Yeah, and I don't know that sending a mailing out like that. I know that bulk mailing is 37% cheaper than putting a stamp on it. And I do know that when they're mailing it out now to the 95 people that are receiving that, they're putting first class stamps on it.
So if we mail out the
It's being put in an envelope and they're putting first class stamps on it.
got it.
I'm open to any suggestions.
Yeah,
We're just-
the board voted on this, but I'm still going to leave this on the agenda for rediscussion
Absolutely.
At April's meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all I'm asking is that you allow me to do some research on that so that
You need to grab the mic before the motions are made.
Well, you can make the motion so that way I know what the board wants, absolutely. And that's what I was allowing the board to tell me exactly what they're wanting. I do need to do some research on it.
Okay, moving on. 6C, the Garden Club. I want to say something about this proposal. It was one of the best proposals that I have ever seen presented to this board. But I think the issue is, we have certain guidelines that are the Rainbow Lakes Club rules and regulations. One being that 2 people have to be named to be representatives for each club. Another one being that every club in Rainbow Lakes Estates has to carry the name Rainbow Lakes Estates. And so I'm not going to push this for a vote today, but I'm going to ask Tiffany to reach out to Michael so that he can resubmit this for April, because I think portions of this, of his proposal, are great ideas. I honestly am on the fence about a community garden. Quite honestly, I believe that they're more designed for urban areas, and we all have our own yards, and if you base this proposal, and I'm sure the board is aware, we all received emails from another resident expecting us to put in wells and pay for produce and dirt and peat moss and everything else. And, the Ceramics Club lost their building because we couldn't justify, one club monopolizing a building, so I'm not sure we can justify one club monopolizing any parcel of land.
That was my question about this too, is like, okay, the ceramics group had predominantly one whole side of this Creative Arts Center, and that did not pan out, could not be done that way because they can't have exclusive use of the space. Well, with the garden club or community garden, whatever it ends up being called, isn't that kind of the same thing? I mean, unless they're providing their own space, the space would have to be provided by Rainbow Lakes Estates. And again, isn't that the same situation where we have a club that has monopolized or has total control over, as they say, a piece of Marion asset?
If Michael does get a club going, I think it'd be amongst the members of the club to decide what they want to do. Maybe someone has a half acre, they can do that.
Okay.
But I did go down to Chatmire, and the Girl Scouts have a community garden. And I did notice that there's piles of mulch and stuff like that, which they would probably be asking us to do that. And I said, no. After I saw that, I think, no. But it was nice. They had their own little plots. Some put flowers in it, some put vegetables. But I think it would be up to the club members to do something more about it. I think we can offer it maybe, but that's down the road.
I'm not even sure we can do that. I think that puts us right back when we were with the ceramics group.
I agree with that. I think it does. It puts us right back to where we were.
Yeah, and I remember, I'm sorry. I remember those very uncomfortable, long meetings.
I don't think I was ever called more names.
Guilty.
All right. Moving on. So Tiffany, you'll reach out to Michael. Okay, that's new business done. Prior meeting updates. Members of the board did request that Recreation Leader Robert Howard and attend tonight's meeting because I believe they have some questions and they want to see how things are going. And also, we have the Volunteer Recreation Committee Leader Marcy McKay. Okay, so you all got questions?
No, not really.
Okay, Robert, you are currently supervised by the office, correct?
Chad Wicker, MST Director, let me just stop this conversation right now. Today, when this was made, a request, it was made because you guys wanted to hear all of the events and updates for the recreation.
Correct.
I'm not getting in a conversation by staff. I just want to make that very clear right now.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay. Do you generate events? Do you do the establish and or come up with the ideas for the events?
Yes, but we do it as a team as well.
Okay.
We have, Tiffany will reach out, and we'll reach out with different ideas, and we'll brainstorm them.
Robert, could you speak up louder?
Yeah.
Maybe, does that work?
The air conditioning is real bad.
Just talk loud.
Yes, we brainstorm together. I'm not the only one who does. Tiffany comes up with some and does.
It's a joint effort, I assume.
Yes, it is a joint effort.
Okay.
Do you control your own budget?
No, I do not.
Again, I don't understand what this has to do with events.
So,
Yeah, sorry,
Robert, I have a question.
You're right.
Our Halloween event is held on a Friday, and we're in competition with the school. Can you move that to Saturday? We have not even advertised it yet.
I can put it forward to my boss and we can brainstorm it.
What's that?
I can talk with my boss when she comes back and we can brainstorm it.
I'm sorry, I'd like to go one further on that, Robert. Could we take a look at our future events that we have scheduled for this year and make sure that none of them are bumping up against our surrounding communities events?
I can present the idea to my boss. And
Yeah, because I want us to, I want to see I want to see our attendance be able to be boosted, but I don't think that's going to happen if we're scheduling in, against other communities, surrounding community events. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. But
Yes.
we also have the volunteer committee now, and I just got approval of flyers, so we're gonna be handing them out to the town, hang them up, going to different businesses, mom and pop shops that are willing to advertise our stuff.
Thank you. That was actually one of my other issues I was going to ask is, are we reaching outside our boundaries and getting the word out and what's available and open to the public here?
Depending on the event.
Yes,
We're not gonna
absolutely.
do it for the community dinner in town. because-
Right. But I mean, other events that are youth and, community.
Yes,
related.
like car show, fall craft festival, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I did have a question for Chad. Have we hired the part-timer yet?
We have hired the part-time, it's going through the HR process right now. So we
Which
have-
takes forever.
Yes, yeah, they have to do background checks and all of that, so it is going through our HR department right now.
Okay. Robert, Will, and we know, you knew this question was gonna come, because I've been complaining about it for 2 years now. Will the youth center be opened on Friday and Saturday nights again?
We were talking about it before Pam had, the medical leave. We plan on doing something along those
Friday and
lines.
Saturday.
We'll probably avoid Sunday.
Would you I'm sorry. Could you let us know when you get that schedule put together or when you finish your dialogue?
Yes, either myself or Pam will reach out to you, or Tiffany possibly as well.
Thank you, because it's gonna be needed. I mean, we're getting ready, we're getting to the end of the school year again.
Okay, I wanted to bring something else up to the board member. We're doing these dinners, and they're free, right? The American Legion charges $15 for these dinners. The Catholic Church down the road here charges $12 for dinners. Lake Tropicana is charging $10 for dinners. Does anybody on this board think that, charging a resident $5 and a guest $10 would be out of place for this?
Nope.
No, no
$5 is cheap for a meal.
You can't eat at McDonald's.
Well, it's not that we're looking to make $1 million here,
No,
we're looking
it's
to
to-
generate.
Defray the cost, yeah.
Right.
Right, and the whole purpose of these dinners was to create community involvement, get to know each other, get to know your neighbors. I mean, that was really what they were put together
Yeah.
for in the first place.
We had a great time at the last one.
Oh, absolutely.
We had fun, we had a good
Oh, yeah.
time.
I mean, if it means that I have to pay $5 to get in so that it is a function that is sustained, yeah, I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
And what about food?
This entire board volunteers at these events, you're gonna pay $5 and volunteer.
We got voluntold, yeah.
Dallas, did you say $10 if somebody wanted
Yes.
Does the board believe also that people should be allowed a guest? Let's say somebody, an elderly person or granddaughter comes down, some family with their children pop in.
Quite honestly, if I can't bring somebody, there are some of them I will not be able to attend. So,
That's true.
I'm sorry.
Dallas,
I'm,
Dallas,
Guys,
down here. Can we think about the fact that we have already posted online the schedule, and it does say free for this year?
I'm thinking that
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
we should
Oh, yeah.
continue it free for this year, but if the board wants to make a motion that starting in January, that would be a $5 fee for a resident, $10 for a guest.
and we need to specify as far as what kind of ID we need to get in here. Because
That's
from my understanding, the spaghetti dinner, some of my neighbors tried to get in, and they've been residents, they've owned the house for 20 years, and they were told, no, you can't come in.
I think we'll address that separately.
Okay.
So it's up to you guys if you just want to
No,
set a fee to be starting in January.
I'd like.
yeah, but Rob, I just wanted, we would not change it halfway through the process. I mean, we've already got it slated, publicized that it is free. It will remain free for the remainder of this year.
Right.
And yes,
As part of the recreation program.
Are you
Exactly.
making a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion.
I'll second.
Gary Levitt second it. And that would, the motion's for starting in January, charging $5 per resident and $10 for the guests. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, moving on, Mr. Levitt, you were just saying about the ID situation.
I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. But, there are forms of identification that are needed to get into our free dinners for now. And, I think it needs to be specified and declared as to what those items are.
Currently, to attend these dinners, it has to be a driver's license. There are people in here for whatever reasons don't have a driver's license or it's not registered to their homes here. So we're looking for other forms of ID that would be acceptable.
Yeah, we do have people that, winter
For
down
instance,
here.
snowbirds.
They're snowbirds, they don't have a driver's license from Florida. Utility bills should be sufficient, it should be adequate.
I would think any type of mail that's legitimate mail, not when the local flyer, not because a communicator came to their door.
Yeah, that's valuable.
So, I want to know your thoughts on that.
A utility bill should be sufficient proof of residency. Utility bill, I don't know, cable bill, phone, whatever, or a tax bill. Tax bill should be perfectly sufficient. You shouldn't need any more than that.
Residents that don't own the property, they won't have a tax bill.
But they'll have an electric bill or a water
Right.
bill.
They'll have some form of utility.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here?
Identification,
Chad,
Chad, is this a county requirement?
I can definitely support ID and a utility bill.
What's that?
I can definitely support showing an ID with a utility bill.
Or a tax bill?
Or a tax bill, yeah.
Something addressed to them that's legitimate.
Absolutely.
In the estates,
All
yes.
right, so I need a motion in a second.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Who made the motion?
Dan,
Dan. Who seconded it?
I did.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, any more questions for Robert?
Robert, I just wanted to tell you picking up and helping out, taking over stuff. Done a good job.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Appreciate the gumption and the stick-to-itives.
I second that motion.
Yes.
They're all the team out here.
Pat on the
Marcy,
back.
could you come up to the microphone? I understand you have something to say. What'd I do with it?
Is this on? No. Is it on now? Yes.
You gotta speak loud.
My name is Marcy McKay. I am the volunteer Rainbow Lakes Estates coordinator, I guess. I'm kind of assigned to take and help Robert and Rainbow Lakes Estates to try and get more volunteer help, to try and get stuff organized and get things going so that we can have things to do. We have a great community and we aren't utilizing everything that we have. The other members of my team, there are 4 of us right now, and no one else is here tonight. Everybody couldn't be here, but I'm here. We are going to take and make a Facebook group for right now called Rainbow Lakes Estates Community Volunteers. And what we're going to propose on there are several of the clubs that used to exist here in Rainbow Lakes Estates that are no longer active, they've fallen apart, no one is there. But what's going to be needed is someone to step forward in our community to be in charge of each one of these clubs and or groups. I'm already president and vice president of 2. I'm helping Robert, I'm helping the community. I can't do it all.
Right.
So, I mean, we're going to take and propose several of the clubs on here, and if somebody has an idea of something else that they would like to do, more power to them. I mean, we'll explain the situation, how they have to do it to take and form a club. Right now, though, one of the main things that we discussed is we need to take and advertise more about the gym. People don't know about the gym. I've talked to so many people that had no idea that we even had a gym that was available here in Rainbow Lakes Estates for the residents. And
You know, it's funny that every event, you know, the board attends these events, we volunteer. I sound like a broken record, repeating that people have no idea what an MSD is, they have no idea there's a district office, a youth center, a fitness center. They have no idea of any of that.
that's correct. And I mean,
Isn't that you guys' fault?
No, it's not dedicated.
Marcy, go on.
The other thing that as a group we discussed that something that could be done right away is the shuffleboard court and the horseshoe pit be repaired so that they're usable. They're unusable. We've had people show up to want to play shuffleboard. There was no equipment there, or if there was, stuff just, it was run down, the paint isn't even on there anymore, it's not usable. And the horseshoe pit, it's not there. I mean, there was somebody that wanted to take and run a horseshoe club. He had told me that in the past, that on a Saturday morning, there'd be 40 people down there playing horseshoes. And this was just a few years ago, so it's a possibility that we could take and have that going again, but it's just gonna have to have someone take charge of it.
Chad, would it be possible to have maintenance go out and look and see what's needed? I know the horseshoe pits, for some reason, they put clay in them.
Gotta be sand.
What's that?
Gotta be sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's benches there at each horseshoe pit. Our shuffleboard,
It needs
why
to-
there is 8-foot fence around it, it looks like a prison camp. I expect to see orange uniforms standing there playing shuffleboard. And the matting, it hasn't been used in at least a decade.
It needs to be painted. My other volunteers, we said that we would paint it and take and get it going again. And we're told that it had to be cleared with MSTU because they didn't think that we would as a volunteer group that we could do it, so that's where that was.
Thank you, Marcy.
Pam did purchase the paint, we have it, I have the decals as well, we're just waiting on our maintenance guy to take care of it.
Right, but, I mean, we, you know, like I told her, we would do it, just to get it done. And she said she didn't think that volunteers that we could do it. And that's what she had said, but she was gonna check into it, and I don't know if she has.
That might be a Chad question again.
I've got a lot of homework. No, I'll look into it for sure.
You want us to have meetings every 2 weeks now?
But Marcy, I have to agree with you. More people need to step up.
I volunteer at every event that there is. I'm down there, I'm trying really hard, but when we don't have enough volunteers in the community, that we have people that are sick and infirm, like you, Gary, that are in a wheelchair. and
Well,
are volunteering.
there's something that probably most people don't realize. Several years ago, when we had the volunteer fire department, we voted, because they were volunteers, to open everything in Rainbow Lakes where they would not pay any of the fees. And we had that extended to anyone that volunteers in Rainbow Lakes as a way of saying thank you. You would not pay fees to the fitness center. You would not pay recreation fees.
That was one of the things that we came up with. is
That was passed several years, probably about 4 years ago. So volunteers do not pay for these things. It's kind of a way to say thank you. But I don't think they're aware of that.
Mr. Chair, is it too late to bring this up? What about the loan closet?
Wait on that, Gary.
Okay.
Right. And Marcy, thank you and your group for all you do.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. Robert, thank you. Any questions for Robert, anybody?
No. I think Robert's doing a great job.
See, we didn't throw you under the bus. You should visit us more often. Did I tell anybody to buy the bus? All right, moving on. Now we come to general public comment. Who signed up? What's that?
Angel Poland. Angel right here in the front.
Angel.
Angel right here in the front.
Right, Angel.
Oh, okay.
Angel.
Didn't know you had to sign in.
Oh, all right, I'll give you a chance. Okay. Come on, yeah. Now you're here for the Domino's Club, right?
Yes.
Gentlemen, let's talk a little bit more.
But don't start the clock on him.
Rainbow Lake,
You're here for the Domino's Club?
correct.
Can you
I want to read
speak?
a letter I received from the Domino's Club today. My concern for the future of the Rainbow Lakes Domino Clubs have prompted this letter. I became a member of the Rainbow Lakes Domino's Club a little over a year ago. In that time, I have met the most wonderful group of seniors like myself, sharing fun-filled Fridays, playing dominoes, and enjoying our time together. This, however, has become increasingly difficult to manage. The club has been displaced more often than I care to express. We are scheduled to meet on Friday at 6:30 p.m. However, this has become a recurring problem. For numerous reasons, we've had to move our game tables and equipment to alternate locations. This has become cumbersome for us as we are seniors with difficulties that don't provide the stamina necessary to handle all these displacements. At this time, I would like to request an environment that can not only become a stable place for the club, but can hold the materials we need to sustain this Domino's Club. And I cannot read the signature. Elizabeth, your last name?
Roman,
Roman, okay, Elizabeth Roman. Now, your name and address, please, sir.
listen, Rainbow Lake.
Name and address.
Your name and address.
My name is Angel Colon. I live on 485 Kingfish Road.
That one works best. Thank you, Robert.
Mine works pretty good.
talk about the railroad lakes.
Keep right up to the mic.
Get close to it.
Hold it if you have to. There.
There you go.
The Rainbow Lakes Domino Club has been here for 18 years, since 2006.
Closer to your mouth, Angel. Angel.
And we meet every Friday. We meet every Friday at 7 to 10 to 11. However, there's a problem. You know what the problem is? That our members are the highest paid members. She could back me up on this. So we've been here for 18 years, and you know what? We have a problem because we cannot meet. We have been denied this room for the past 3 Fridays.
What?
And tomorrow is Friday. Last Friday, the first Friday of this month, we have an activity. We will like that. Next second Friday, that was last Friday, I was told that there would be someone here to open the place. However, I used to pick up the keys every week. Someone decided, hey, you don't need to have the keys anymore. There will be someone to open the place up. So guess what? We showed up last Friday, the place was closed. I don't know about tomorrow. Now, however, you also scheduling a community dinner for Friday. So that would mean that the whole month of March, we've been denied this room to play down. However, our members pay for the whole year. I don't know, but in my part of the neighborhood, they're saying that you're trying to get rid of us.
No.
But how are we to interpret that we've been denied this room here to play Fridays? And you have all the schedules. I got a list for the whole year. Every new project that come up, oh, let's do the Domino Club. Let's do it on Friday. So gentlemen, I want to make this short and simple. You want to lose us? If you don't want to lose us, then find us a place, maybe the clubhouse. Let that fix, find us a place, or try and reschedule all those other events that you have scheduled for Friday night. They could be scheduled for Thursday. Why do that dinner have to be Friday night? It could be Saturday, Thursday. However, let's screw the Domino Club and let's do it on Friday. That's the way we interpret it. Okay? In my other part of the neighborhood, they will say something else, but I'm not going to mention it. Either you find a place for us to meet, or will be the end of the Domino Club.
I understand.
The 18 years that we've had it with the highest paid members, and here you are, without a place. Tomorrow, I hope that it's open. Well, we'll see. Thank you very much.
I know you're on the best. All right, question. Is there any date that the clubhouse is going to be open in the near future?
Yeah, 2 years from now.
Well, let me find out let me just see what the repairs are gonna be done for the roof. But I do feel like that building, that's one of the reasons why we need to make that a priority to remodel the inside of that building, is for the various clubs. So that way they have a nice place with all the amenities to meet, so.
Well, garden club too.
You know, originally I thought, then I realized the youth center is open Friday night. Go ahead.
We could put them in the Creative Arts Center.
I was just gonna see.
Right.
It has a key code just until the clubhouse was back and open, and put them right back to where they originally.
Would you put them in where the poker club meets there? Because the poker club meets in that building.
I wouldn't put them in there, it's too small of an area. I think with, you said 18 members, Angel?
It might not
18
be,
members I don't think would fit in there. I'd put them in that very first room if you were going in towards like pins and needles or the fiber crowd side.
it might not be the ideal location, but until the clubhouse repairs are done, Robert can put you in a creative arts center,
Do they know?
and you would be able to use that every Friday night. Nobody else meets there.
May I be able to speak again? Yes, sir. Back in 2006, when the club was originating, we started at the clubhouse. That's where we started. At that time, there was no clubhouse. However, I was one that advocated when I was doing the crime watch that we needed a place for the young people to meet. Okay, they said, oh, let's use that for the clubhouse. They moved us out of there, right across, right across. However, then that building had a sinkhole, pipe broke.
The building's had a lot of issues over the last 4 years.
All right, so I spoke to the,
Up until
the office says, well, we used to meet on Thursday night. And the office told me, no, you guys meet on Thursday night, so we'll move you up for Friday. And that's how we got Friday.
Do you want to continue to meet on Fridays?
I love to continue to be on Friday. I love to play in the clubhouse. But again, things were done without considering us. So for three Fridays, we have been denied.
I understand that, sir. I understand that. We're trying to come up with a solution because a clubhouse is not available. You can't meet in a building that has having the issues it has. But as soon as the repairs are done,
You guys have a problem with the clubs. Either get the clubhouse fixed, or make this up, whatever. You realize it and you acknowledge it that you have a problem with the clubs. All right? So you gotta solve that problem, or you're gonna lose members.
Well,
Our member paid the
Who's
whole year and they've been denied it.
who's supposed to open it?
yes, go ahead.
Who's supposed to open the building for you?
Gary,
Oh,
I don't know who's supposed to open the building. Last Friday, the building was closed.
Yeah, and we ended up in the building that needs a new roof.
please don't talk from the audience.
Angel, I'm Kathy. I was with the Ceramic Club for many, many decades, okay?
I'm hard of hearing, I gotta go through.
All right, I was with the Ceramic Club for many years, out of the arts building, out by Little Bonneville. It's a nice building, it's really nice. You'll have plenty of room.
What building is that?
The Creative Arts
They
Building,
probably
down
don't
by
know.
Little Bonneville, next to the
It's
fire
on-
station 2.
No, fire station, that's too far.
No, not the fire station, the building next to it.
That's with the ceramic club.
Right,
Yes.
but it's
You
not
gotta be-
there. It's not there anymore, and there's plenty of room. It's a very
There's
nice
pl-
building.
There might be plenty of room, but that's too far. And it's for our senior citizen to be in that, I call it a hole,
especially
it's
at,
too dangerous.
especially
The
at
senior citizen to be in that place. I know the
How
place.
about if you move
By the
your
way, I
time?
know the place because I used to be in the crime watch.
Okay, but how about if you move your time up so that it's not so dark out there when you go?
Listen, meet with us or meet with me, we'll talk about the places that you got. We'll talk about if you're ever gonna get the clubhouse fixed.
Right, it's gonna take a long time to rehab that building,
Okay.
even if they start today.
Again, it's simple. Either you find us a place, or you reschedule all these activities
Sir.
for Friday night. Can't get any simpler than that. Or, then we're out of.
Robert will reach out to you and they'll find you a place where you can have that.
it's too
All right.
dark, it's too
All right,
dark.
Robert,
It's
thank
too
you.
dark and remote.
Anyone else? Public comments?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, she's got a whole list. Yeah, wait. Brian Chase, oh, he's left the building. Michael Haslett has left the building. Catherine Haslett has left the building. Marcy McKay has already spoken.
Dallas, you have Teresa Reimer.
What's that?
You have Teresa Reimer. She's on the Teresa Reimer.
What's that?
Teresa Reimer.
Teresa.
Teresa,
That wasn't that Kelly?
No.
you missed her.
Oh, I thought that was him.
No, he was
How did he go
on,
first?
he was
Push the
on,
button up.
Hi, yes.
Come on, hey! Okay, my name is Teresa Reimer. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
yes.
4671 Southwest Begonia Court. I want to thank the advisory board, but do you know what's happening in the back of each dead-end road of Rainbow Lakes? Like Azalea, Begonia, Carnation, all any of those dead-end blocks, we used to have a fence. Well, the fence was taken down, okay, and I found a tree logger coming down our roads, okay, and going behind the dead-end roads, causing problems, and took down the fence so they could get to the farm behind us. By the way, it's a tree farm, and they use our roads to get to it. They went out somewhere else, I don't know where. But anyway, then they came back and put a fence on the property of the dead-end roads. And meantime, we have heard a wild buffalo coming in our area of pigs.
Pigs.
Pig.
And anyway, but they're the size of cows, so bigger, okay? And I had 4 on my property, then the next night I had 5, and the next night I had 18 in my backyard. I was frightened, so I didn't go out. And then for a while, I didn't see anything anymore. So if anybody who has fences on their property, they're fine. But the ones who don't have fences on their property, they're in trouble. So I have a number that I can give to you because I called 6 rescues to find out who can track these things or fix them or whatever. And I finally found a number. If I give you the number, you can share it put it on the Facebook or communicator or where you want it, and up to the residents, because they are going to get hurt. Because there's a couple of residents already have hogs on their property. And I hate to see anybody get hurt. Sorry, sir. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. George, can you look into that?
Yes, I will. I'll look into that,
George will look into
Teresa.
that.
I'll look into that.
That's everybody.
Actually, my brother lives on Delio, and he was telling me just the other day that there's been a lot of traffic.
Please state your name and address.
My name is Julie Calabro. I live at 468 Southwest Shorewood Drive. Number 1, the loan closet. I donated equipment, I donated money, and I have used the closet for many years. For 20 years I've lived here. It closed during COVID. COVID isn't over, but it is back to where the world is back open again. The closet needs to be open for our community, the people that need these equipment, supplies that we have on hand, and there's no reason not to have the loan closet available to us as a community. Number 2, we're talking about the communicator. Let's send it out every month so we all know names, minutes of every meeting. Let's have that vote that we want to know. Let's have it in the communicator. If you don't want it in the communicator, you don't want it mailed to you, then why don't you have it voted in the communicator that you don't want it, and then we don't have to send it to you. Never mind it be on Facebook and on I'm back here, I have no internet service, I have no cell phone service available to me. I have 8 people on my street that don't have this information because it's not available to them. We don't have internet, we don't have cell service back here. It takes over a half hour for somebody to arrive, to respond to a fire, to an emergency. Rescue squad, police department. Half hour is a long time for a response when you need help. I see that this building that you're talking about spending all this money on, let's spend it on the communicator. So we can have everybody in this community know what's going on. You want to put a roof on a building that has a sinkhole, that has asbestos? Why? Why do you want to rebuild something that's not worth rebuilding?
That's my lady.
We have buildings that probably are in newer, better shape. I just think that the money's being wasted on a building when it can be spent on better things for the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Name and address, please.
My name is Elizabeth Roman, and I live at 4373 East Venice Street. And I just have some suggestions. I work with the American Legion, and I do this kind of thing. So I was thinking, I've heard a lot that the new members here, the new residents, don't know about what the community has to offer. So why don't you have a welcome packet? Why doesn't every new resident receive a welcome packet? So that they can know what you have to offer. The other thing I have is, okay, you said that there was $300,000 that would be used to build that to repair that building. Damn, that sounds like just enough money to build a new building. Just saying.
Thank you, I agree.
Just saying.
I didn't hear it.
No, what I said was that building is worth around 300,000. If you,
Oh.
It's not worth anything.
But if, yeah, I'm just saying that if the cost of repairing it would be close to rebuilding, it would make more sense. Now, what else? I wrote a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Oh, the other thing was about the communicator. This sounds to me like it should be a postcard. And the postcard it's cheaper to mail a postcard. To mail this, you think even if it's 2 pages, trust me, we're talking big bucks, okay? Even if you took 2 pages and folded them in half, I've done this. I think that a postcard to each of your residents once. On that postcard, they're responsible for giving you their email and any information that they need so that they can be informed of what you have here. If they don't respond, they don't care. You have to know that of all your residents here, there's a percent of young people that are living lives outside here. There are people that work that are not interested in coming home and doing anything here. There are senior citizens that can't get out. So what percentage of those people are there here? So your mailing should tell you. What you know already should give you an idea of what that is. And thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. I believe Chad is looking into something about a welcome package. Chad is looking into that. And Tiffany, could you put the loan closet on the agenda for next month? Because the loan closet has now been shut down since COVID. And it really should have been open a long time ago.
Yes.
What's a loan? What's that?
All right.
If I needed a cane, I could go down there and get one. If I needed a wheelchair, I could go down there.
All right, excuse me.
Go down there. Any kind of method.
Please give your name and address. Please stop talking in the audience.
Sorry. My name is Victoria Mason. I'm at 3306 Northwest Ridgewood. I'm a fairly new resident to the community. I've lived in a lot of communities before, small communities of 3,000 and less people that offered, I know that a mailer can be expensive. for 8 months. I didn't know there was a fitness center. I didn't know there was an arts building. I didn't know. Now, you would say that the information's out there, it's on Facebook. You'd have to scroll and scroll and scroll to find that information, to find a communicator. There isn't a link on the About section that tells you. I'm of a young generation. I know how to find stuff on the internet. When I moved here, I looked up this community. The website for this community tells you nothing that this community offers. Nothing. It barely tells you anything about it. And it's huge. And it's absolutely ginormous. And you offer so much and your residents don't know. If you didn't have the forethought to look for a community Facebook page, because you'd have to go looking for it, you wouldn't have this information. Websites are designed and updated much like a communicator is. It's an initial startup fee. It's an idea. It's one worth looking into. You could also have an email list. Because right now, if you didn't go on Facebook, join the community page, you wouldn't know this was there. You'd have to come to the building, which if you live all the way out where I do, we're 10 minutes from this building. You'd have to know where you are and what you have going on. You don't have anywhere for anyone to sign up to say, I want this via email. I want this via mail. Guess what? Email is free. To email this document is no different than printing it, except for the print costs you money. So if money is the issue, email's free. You don't have a way for people to sign up to do that. If I read this right now, all the events that this lady mentioned, they're not all in here. The fitness center isn't in here. I don't even know where it is. There's nothing that tells you where anything is. If you want to attend the meetings, you have to be looking on the page. If you want to come to the dinner or to an event, you have to catch it and be staring at the Facebook page as it scrolls. So it's just something to think about. A website can be updated continuously. And you could email out this monthly if people sign up for it, but you have to tell them where to go to sign up.
All right, your time's up. Thank you. Thank you. And that is a very good suggestion that we should consider.
Yeah.
Dallas, there used to be a map that used to go, maybe that could go in the communicator to the.
Is there anybody else that wants to speak? Please come on.
Point, if there was a map where everything was, that's a good idea.
The new people, you know, the map. Are they looking at it?
Yeah, hello, my name's Chuck Neal, I live at 21077 Southwest Peach Blossom. Got to commend you for this communicator. It's very valuable information for the neighborhood. I want to thank you for wanting to mail this out free. Well, the suggestion I have for you is that in this communicator, you put in all the amenities that this community has to offer. This way everybody knows that's never seen it. Also put in there, it's a suggestion, in every January, if you want to continue getting this for the future, you got to pay $5 to help defray the cost of mailing. Bulk mailing is the cheapest way to go. We used to run, where I come from, we used to have our own communicator, and it was like 40 pages sometimes. Back then it was $10 because it was a book. But anyway, this is paper. Just a suggestion, to try to defray the cost. If you want to continue receiving the communicator every year, pay your $5 or whatever you want to charge in January. This way, it helps defray the cost of the mailing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, one more.
My name is Joseph Zabrowski. I'm over here on 24027 North Beach Road, and I've been here for only a year. And I hear all these ladies and gentlemen talking about paying this and paying that, but I guess being 36 years in the military and 5 years in the sheriff's department, I kind of want to know what our budget is here. What do we get allotted here in Rainbow Lake Estates? I've only been here a year and a half, so I'm exploring. I mean, I came through the door one time over Christmas, and a gentleman told me we get a budget like $3 million a year, and I said, well, I don't know about that, but I said, I
Sir? Sir? We just finished the workshop for the budget. There's a budget workshop meeting about 2 weeks ago,
Right.
and went through all the expenses, all the proposed expenses, the revenues and expenses for the past and in the future.
Yes, sir.
And all of this stuff, unfortunately, because we don't have a communicator that's available, we don't have information out like it should be.
Yeah.
I completely concur. On the website, on Facebook, it's been posted, all the meetings with, the workshop was on there, it was 10 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And we met with Chad and all the other county officials, and they explained exactly what was there
Yes, sir.
and explained what they were proposing to spend it on, and went through all of that stuff. So that's the whole point of these meetings. We don't do this just to hear ourselves talk.
Oh, no, I'm not, don't get me wrong, I just want our number.
Yeah.
What have we got to hear?
Chad.
My name's Chad Wicker, I'm the MST
Hi, Chad.
director. Hi, how are you doing? If you'll get with me after the meeting, I'll give you my business card and I can give you all of that information. It's posted on the Marion County Clerk's website, our approved budget, but I can definitely.
I'm all the
get
way
you
down
that
from
information.
Washington State.
Yeah, no worries, I don't mind at all, but if you'll get with me after this meeting, I'll give you my business card and I can definitely get you all the numbers you want.
All right, I think everybody here would like to know too.
Sure. If they would like to know, it's definitely
Well, that's-
available, I can.
Is it on the piece of paper?
That's part of the communicator, I hope, because the workshops are open to the public, but nobody shows up.
Nobody shows up.
Well, that COVID thing kind of shut everything
No,
down.
even now.
When you're
now.
speaking out from the audience, we can't hear whoever's speaking there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be really interested in talking to you.
For sure.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else? All right, public portion, comment portion of the meeting is closed. Do any of the board members have anything they would like to announce?
No one else?
Could you please keep the noise down? Okay, the dedication of George Pugliese Field at Sea Cliff Park, Tuesday, March 26th at 10 a.m. Our next meet and eat dinner will be held right here in the community center on Friday, March 29th at 6 p.m. This is free for all Rainbow Lakes Estates residents. Proof of residency will be required. Rainbow Lakes Estates Car Show will be held here in the community center complex on April 20th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Our next advisory board meeting will be held on Thursday, April 18th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. here in the community center. This meeting is adjourned.